And next up is going to be Erik and Gina Therwanger. They are, well, actually Gina is our honorary survivor, but Erik is going to be speaking on behalf of her. So if I could just invite these two up, they've got an incredible story. I'm sure you guys will be as touched and moved by it as I was.
We are extremely excited and honored to be here today. My experience with cancer is from the standpoint of a caretaker, and Erica is going to do her thing. Gina obviously is here with me today as a survivor, and I remember when she called me and told me the results of her tests, and nothing can prepare you for that phone call from your doctor. You know something's wrong, but they won't tell you the results over the phone, which kind of tells you the results over the phone, you know. Gina was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in 1999. We didn't even know what non-Hodgkin's lymphoma was. We hadn't even heard of it. They told us it was very aggressive and that she needed to get chemotherapy right away, and we didn't really even understand what chemotherapy was, but we got a very quick lesson in it. I remember everything happening really quick in our lives. Everything seemed out of control, getting turned upside down. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that feeling. And honestly, we were both just really scared. We really didn't know what to do. We didn't know anybody in our lives that had been hit with cancer before. So we were a little concerned, to say the least. At that point, we had been married for 10 months, and Gina was 27. Some of you know all too well what it's like to watch a loved one battle for their life. Sorry. Sometimes it just feels like there's so little you can do as a caretaker, that so much is out of your hands. But especially when the oncologist tells you what the treatments are going to do. And she's going to lose her hair, lose her appetite, she's going to be very sick. But right before he gave her the chemo, he did pull me aside and said, she's going to stand a better chance for survival if you keep her spirits high. And I was pretty excited about that aspect because I could control that. There was something that I could put in my hands. And I had been in the Marine Corps. I served for 4 years, so I knew how to take orders really well. And I took those orders really seriously. Nothing was going to stop me from keeping her positive, no matter what news came our way. So we even came up with techniques and strategies to keep her positive. We call it Think Great. But it was all centered around us focusing on some of our most important goals in life. So even when she was at her worst, we were focusing on what the best life could bring us. And that helped us out a lot. I think the hardest part was when they were very certain, the doctors told us that she would never have children. They're not always right, obviously. And of course, that didn't keep her spirits high when they dropped that news on you. All totaled, Gina received 7 cycles of chemotherapy, a month straight of radiation every day, and she received a stem cell transplant. At the City of Hope. She did a full year of treatments and about 2 years of recovery just to get her strength back. And every year she goes in for her treatments. And you know, we get nervous. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that until they give you the positive news that, you know, everything's fine. And on her 6th year, they ran 2 tests, and the first test came back negative for cancer and positive for pregnancy. And Erica will be 3 this August. She was born the day before my birthday. So today is really important for us because today is our first relay. We never revisited that time period for a long time. Obviously, you can tell it was challenging to revisit it. But we always wanted to do something great because we knew that Gina was here and survived for a reason. And we really wanted to make a difference in the world. When she was sick, she used to get visited by friends and family, and that was really important. But nothing as important as getting visited by a survivor. It just gave her hope that she would live. So obviously, I wanted to get as many survivors around her as I could. But one day we were in her room at City of Hope right before the stem cell transplant. And this guy stuck his head in the room. And all he said was, I was in this room a year ago. I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I survived, and so will you. Just don't give up, no matter how bad things get. We never got his name, but we never forgot his visit. And we always knew we wanted to give back in some capacity like that. Cancer changed our perception of life. We look at every second of every day differently. There's so much power in having a positive outlook. We really believe that we have found our home with Relay for Life, and especially with Team Freeze out there. Being a part of the relay is really part of our greater purpose. And I just want to say, Gina and I are so impressed with every one of you and the dedication, the time, and the resources you're giving to help eliminate cancer. Cancer is a big mountain. It's not easy to climb. And this year alone, it's estimated that 1.5 million people will be diagnosed. We need more survivors. I just want to thank you for allowing Gina and I to be a part of this relay. And on behalf of the American Cancer Society, the 8 million survivors out there, and those who didn't make it, I just want to thank you and welcome you to Relay. Thank you.